day and good morning everyone, Slababoos here, ready for another video. In my first video, I put in what was terrible about Warlords of Draenor, and I highly recommend that you don't click on it because that video is a piece of shit. So in this video, I'm going to say what was good in Warlords of Draenor, what was innovative about it, and what they could tweak and what they could potentially do for Legion. So without further much ado, here we go. Garrisons were easily the worst thing about Warlords of Draenor, at least one of the worst, but in a way they were also pretty good. I mean, if the game didn't give us so many ways of making gold and making a mockery of professions, it could have been a really good system, and here is why. You had your own personal space. When you just want to be left in your own little area, no distractions, no people, just you and Warcraft, contemplating what you'll do next. Now the idea was solid, but the execution was a little bit off. The tech that Garrisons introduced, well to me anyways, was revolutionary. First, you start up your own little fortress, you build it up. Awesome! This is your place, your fort, your followers. They followed you. You're the king of the castle. Yes, I am the king! But as I mentioned in my previous terrible video, the gold and professions in the shipyard were just terrible. You never had to leave. Hell, you could get an auction house in your garrison. But the tech that was introduced is kind of revolutionary and hopefully will play a bigger part in Legion, and no doubt it will lead to some good gameplay in the future. The artwork in Warlords of Draenor was immensely beautiful, but there just wasn't enough of it in my eyes. I mean, imagine what the game would have looked like with the Ogre Isles or Farallon. Oh my god, I get squeamy just thinking about it. That's how good the art was. The art team in my mind were the unsung heroes of Draenor. Everything looked gorgeous. Everything, including Gorgon. How the hell do you make rocks look pretty? Chris Robinson's team, from what I gather, he was the senior art director in Warlords of Draenor. He and his team were amazing. The beautifully green and haunting areas of Tanaan, the grand in all its splendor, its vastness, the way that the spires of Iraq shone as an example of how to make a zone with so many different styles fit into one, and in my mind, Shadowmoon Valley, oh my god, Shadowmoon Valley, I fell in love with it. And then there was Frost 5, yeah, I may admit, it was lovely but it didn't take me by the balls like Shadowmoon Valley. And to me, that is what made Warlords of Draenor bearable. At least, the most bearable thing in my mind was the artwork. And can I just say thank you Blizzard, and thank you to the art team for all your hard work and that. That was just, wow. Whether you're an Alliance player or a Horde player, I think we can all agree that the leveling experience in this expansion was grade A top cheese. It was absolutely amazing. Yeah, except for the start of the expansion where you couldn't really get anywhere in the game because everyone was funneled in one little area, and when there's 10 million people split up between 497 realms, you can't really do anything. You start off in your own little garrison after you start the little thing. And then you go out from there. Once you completed a zone, or hit say level 92 or 94, etc, etc, you on to the next zone, where the story would basically pick up from the previous zone. The main storyline was awesome, being spread throughout all the expansion. But me being a casual professional at this game, I first started playing WoW halfway through BC, and I was instantly hooked. I had no idea what the point of the game was until Lich King. I started off in Elwyn Forest, and I truly thought the game was about killing things and leveling up. I had no, inkling of what the hell Colths are to kill Jaden or anything like that but I didn't care. The game was fun, still pretty fun, and Warlords of Draenor made that experience 100 times better in my mind in leveling. I mean, just take a look at what you had to go through. It was absolutely brilliant. With Warlords of Draenor came the introduction of the level 90 boost. I think this was a great system. Wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, no. But it meant that if I bought this game right out of the box and started playing, I could go right into current content with my friends. And playing with them, there would be no hassle. Now, at the start of the expansion, I thought it was a bad thing because new players would only get to be playing in Draenor But then Draenor showed its colours and showed the lack of content. But the flip side to that, if a newbie player got to level 100, did all the raiding, did everything he wanted to do, he could then go back and start, say, a new tune from level 1, explore Azeroth for himself, and basically engage the game the way he wanted. And I really believe that Warlords of Draenor was new player friendly in that little example. And if you're anything like me, like trying to get up ults, it kind of helps there too. Because, you know, you get to play tune up to level 60, you know, ding, level 90 boost, plus you get 600 professions and 2 things. It was pretty awesome. I liked it. Thank you, Blizz. The game token. Is it pay to win? Yeah, no, I don't think so. And for very good reason. You can only equip 3 pieces of crafted gear, and drops in raids were usually BOP, not BOE. So there, I don't think gold tokens were really game breaking, but it could help someone who's a little bit less wealthy in this world. If you have like a ton of alts and, you know, you're gold farming the garrisons, you didn't really have to pay to play the game anymore, which was awesome. Well, it was at the start when they were about 20 to 25,000 gold for a month of game time. Now it's, you know, in the European service, 83 frickin' thousand gold, and in the US, 39,000 frickin' gold. For 25 Aussie dollary dues, you could get at least just around 40,000 gold at the moment. That's pretty awesome. I mean, from what I gather, if you were to do that just as you're starting up a garrison, you know, it could really help out there, you know, with the prices and whatnot. It's also good for if you want to buy cosmetic rewards on the AH, or, you know, buy mounts, or, you know, little things like that. The game token, one thing I like about it, really like about it, is it put a bit of a dent in the gold sellers. I mean, with the gold inflation in the game, thanks to garrisons, there's still a little bit of a market for the freaking garrison for gold sellers. I hate gold sellers. I don't know if you can tell. I've never bought gold and I never will. But with the garrisons, it kind of also made the gold sellers kind of useless. Garrisons plus the game token, the gold sellers useless. You know, I don't see as many gold selling spammers on the trade chat as I used to. So, all in all, I really do think it was a good decision from Blizzard to introduce them. But that's just my personal opinion. Alpha testing for Legion. Now, why do I put Legion Alpha into a WOD video? Because Alpha had primarily been an in-house testing system for Blizzard. And with the Warlords of Draenor kinda lacking content, Blizzard decided to get player feedback as they were creating a new expansion and to show off what they have done. In the past, we got to see and test the beta to help try and get rid of the bugs near launch time. But now we are in the alpha, helping to shape the next expansion. In Warlords of Draenor, there was hardly any good communication, and sometimes there was contradictory information given out. But Blizzard recognized that one of the biggest things they did wrong was the lack of communication with its customers. And that is seemingly gonna change with Legion. Legion is all about fantasy, and when they released the first iteration of Alpha, they showed what they wanted the class's fantasy as to what they thought they should be. And with a little bit of feedback and all the people voicing their opinions and concerns, Blizzard are starting to listen to the people. That is a really good move. Should have happened earlier? Yes! They realized that Warlords of Draenor was really lacking content, and this is to kind of give it a bit of a fresh breath of fresh air. To try and get people subscribed like myself, or stay subscribed I should say. And it kind of has. Like, I still enjoy my World of Warcraft experience, but seeing what's to come, that really gets me impassioned and excited, and kind of wanting to get a couple of my alts up to see what it would be like to, you know, have an Ashbringer, or a Doomhammer, or a Zol. I'm a priest main, and I have no freaking clue what the hell my main's bloody name is. Zol Kucher. But yeah, seeing the alpha is absolutely awesome. That was a great move by Blizzard. One of the main selling points for Warlords of Draenor to me was that it was Blizzard trying to create nostalgia in the world of Warcraft. And at the start, it really worked. It really, really did. I mean, seeing Blackhand, Orgrim Doomhammer, Durotan, Drakthar, it was brilliant. Seeing what Draenor was before it blew the hell up, seeing how gorgeous Shadowmoon Valley was before it became fel-infested, seeing Gorgron separate to Frostfire Ridge before it melded into Bladespire. Oh yes, it was orgasmic. Yeah, there were differences in the timelines, as I believe, it was a time travel expansion to a different frickin' dimension. Oh, and Blizzard, unless it is something like a dungeon like, Culling Strathhome or End Times or whatever, don't ever do another time travel expansion. No. Bad. Bad Blizzard. But what they were trying to achieve from a non-linear, lore point of view, actually worked. I love the idea of it. The execution, however, yeah, not so much. I mean, even if they, had another year to try and work on this, it's still, time travel is always wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. And not that many people can achieve it unless, well, you own a TARDIS. So, Blizzard, I do commend you for trying. As much hate as Blizzard is getting, some justified, some not, and some people just screaming out to Blizzard, "Why the fuck did you do this to us?" One thing cannot be questioned. They tried to bring out an expansion that was groundbreaking. Yes, it could have been done better. And if they had extra time and extra people who were more experienced at the start of the expansion, it would have been better. And now if you're watching this and screaming, "They should have put more content in," then just think, the Legion expansion was shown at Gamescom in September. It is currently near the end of March. That's 6 months down the track, and from what we've seen then to what is out now, it just goes to show how long it takes to make an expansion. For the last 3 months, they've been doing everything they can to try and work out the classes, to try and work out the bugs, and to try and, get all the artwork up to date and whatnot. It takes a long time to make an expansion, and I don't think we give them the full credit for that. And I think that is one of the reasons why Warlords of Draenor was so devoid of content. I mean, they have the biggest team they have ever had. Now they're finally getting up to scratch with what they need to do. But Warlords of Draenor still has less content than Wrath. Was it because the developers didn't care? No, definitely not. These are two different, completely different expansions from one another. And what would Blizzard try to achieve? Quality over quantity. Did it work? Yes, it really did. Very quality, not much quantity. There was very little quantity for me to do unless I got all my alts up, which is currently what I'm almost finished doing. But at least the quality was there. That's the main thing I'm trying to say here is, and the people working for Blizzard really showed how much they did care about this expansion, and it shows. It's just a shame that there wasn't more of it, because what they have done was absolutely brilliant. They just needed more. Okay, so it's halfway through this expansion, and there is obviously very little to do now except twiddle your thumbs. You have just done everything you could do on your level 100 High Elf Wizard. You have just done Heroic Archmond, and you felt you've done everything on this tune that you want to achieve. You're not a fan of achievement hunting, but you only had to do it so you could do it in Warlords of Draenor for the flight. And getting up your profession, doesn't interest you, because you have X amount of gold from your garrison, so you can just buy anything you want anyhow. So you take a look at all the tunes you have that are still level 90 that you grinded up at the end of MOP after the 14 frickin' months of Siege of Orgrimmar, and decide you want to get them up and see how they are at endgame. Particularly because your wizard's DPS, even at full, best in slot gear, isn't as good as your mate's blue goat ogre's druid. But you don't want to invest the same amount of time with your wizard. But at least you know that with the $286 billion you have made from your garrisons, then from the money that you just bought with your $25 reduce with the game token, you can afford to upgrade your heirloom leathers to that sweet 45% extra XP. Yes. XP plus the rested XP from leaving your tune in the inn for the last year or so. Plus the extra 20% from the potions after level 91. plus the stupid amounts of XP you get from finding treasures. There is a lot of extra XP you can get on your ults now. You've done the quests, you've done them, but you don't give a rat's ass about doing it again. Blizzard really helped you out for that matter. It helped me out too. Blizzard really made gearing up ults really easy, and I didn't worry about going through dungeons to get max level. It was awesome. I didn't have to worry about going through dungeons to get max level. I mean, I didn't have to worry about that at all. I mean, getting from level 90 to level 100 was friggin' awesome. And on top of that, Asmongold and Belly Gaming, two YouTubers that I highly recommend, by the way, and if you get a chance, look them up. They showed you probably the best ways to get from 90 to 100, including all the treasures and blah blah blah. I currently have all but 2 classes at max level, and it does not take as much time than it did at the start of the expansion to get to level 100. And it was actually kind of cool. Variety in a game is good, and if the landscape isn't giving it to you, try a new class. For some high-end raiders, the raiding experience in Warlords of Draenor was the best they had ever experienced. However, it was just, in my mind, sorely lacking. World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor had 3 raids. Mists of Pandaria had 5. Cataclysm had 7. Wrath of the Lich King had 11. BC had 9. Vanilla had 7. Quality versus quantity. Sure, there are some open world bosses, but I'm not going to include them because how many freaking people actually did them? I have only ever done Kazakh. Basically the Warlords of Draenor version of Ordos from Mists of Pandaria. Tank and Spank don't stand in fire, tag him then AFK. Is a lot of, I saw a lot of people doing on Kazakh, and Blizzard has now got the policy of no more one boss raids. Why the hell not? They, to me, were the most fun. In, out, done. I mean, take a look at Gruul, or, you know, Magtheridon, I do believe it was. I mean, even Wintergrass with the Vault of Archivon. That was fun, but Blizzard is going for quality over quantity. But quality over quantity, make one of the world bosses. Please put it in an instance, make it a raid. Seriously, when was the last time you took out Rookmar? I have never done it, because no one ever wanted to do it, because the gear was so bad, and it was just boring as hell anyway. But what Blizzard did put into this game was grade A top cheese. And that's just what I think kind of half saved Warlords of Draenor for me. It's not the best expansion in the world, but certainly not as bad as what people think. Except for the lack of content. Anywho, that's my time. Remember to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and comment if you think there's anything you would like to see or whatnot, and subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, have a great day.